East Bay and Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Oakland Raiders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Check 55, Mike.
Hey, kill. 47.
Check 25.
26.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Crunch. Check 24. Check 24.
26.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Good coverage there by Trayvon Mullen. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
With it is Brown. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Breida, he'll try the right side. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Check 13. Check 13. Watch out. Go. Hey, I need one over here.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And they'll get him down short of the 1st down, right on the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Throwing on second down. Prescott forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They run with Breida. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Let him know, let him know.
On first down, Reynolds. That'll be complete to Breida. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Flushed out right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Buddy up. Mike 57. You don't want nothing.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Set, ready, 60 yard.
55.
I got one. 60 more. Next, back. Right.
Back to throw. Reynolds. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordan Franks, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is in this situation.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
To try again after the sack. Prescott, Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
47.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the Raiders' 46-yard line.
On second down, they'll run it Gordon. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down and 6.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
46-yard line.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a give coming right is Breida. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On third down, a run from Breida. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on fourth down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8-ball.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Quick throw out to Gordon on the perimeter. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
Go. Get out there.
Looking to throw. Prescott gets this one to Hill. Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Prescott to throw it. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Let's
Go.
Mike,
Kill.
53. Strip the ball.
26.
A first down throw for Prescott. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10.
Kill. 26.
From the red zone now, Prescott. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here. That's where they get. Oh, now Breida loses it. And picked up by the Chargers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check 53. Not today, you are. Not today.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And he'll find Moreau here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He's going to be driven down. Jerry Tillery in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. No room to be had there on the 1st down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
53, Mike.
Watch the pass. No, we're going to 53.
Prescott to throw this time. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
You can't block me. Check, 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 check.
Third and long for Prescott. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
On the double. 57 Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run, as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Chargers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Prescott. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Gordon. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
At the 22-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
To throw is Prescott. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The defense did their job. Fourth quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looking to throw. Reynolds. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there by Gordon, and even 70 yards on the pickup. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
No lack of guts at all on that one. Normally in this situation in the red zone, that type of play isn't run, but I think they're trying to catch the defense off guard and also break tendency. No one really runs that type of a play. Guess what? We are. Let's see how you handle it.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Chargers have taken the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down.
He's got a man, complete, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown, 78 yards, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Back at the 22-yard line.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, now I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them, an absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
At the 43-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Once again, it's Jacobs. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this,